Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we have a really special tutorial. Is a tutorial Article 13 approved. So what you are seeing now, it's a little bit weird because I have the consent of Ruben and Susanna to film them, but not written. So we're gonna do that now so we can actually see them, okay? Now we can see Susanna, but we can't see her dress because the design of the dress has intellectual design property, whatever, okay?
Copyright.
So it's copyrighted. So about the picture today, what we are going to try to do is make this photo right here. So Susanna a while ago sent me a really cool picture of Christina McKevan, okay? She does a really cool pictures with really long dresses and stuff like that. So this is my intake, how I would do a picture like that. So what we're gonna do is take two pictures and mix them on Adobe Photoshop. There is people coming. There is people coming. So we're gonna wait a few seconds. E os braços tipo... Estás a aproveitar o sol. Exatamente. So, now we have the general picture. Let's do the really close-up picture. So the idea here is that Susanna will be in front of me. She's gonna put herself on her knees like so. The skirt can have a lot of wrinkles and spread around, like in the pictures of our beloved photographer. So Susanna, just do what I just did there. And I'm gonna ask her husband to play a little bit with the dress. So the idea is that the dress spreads as much as possible. So as you can see, Susanna has a bikini top, so she can do this comfortably in public, yes. As the top, it's not really important right now. She's gonna put her t-shirt and we can push a little bit down the skirt. Abre os braços. And we are done with the pictures. Now let's jump to Photoshop and mix these 2 or 3 pictures together.
So everyone, here we are in my computer and I already selected the photos that I want to work with. So here it is, Susanna on the top of the bridge, really beautiful pose. And the second one is of the dress that I want to make a mask and put here on the bottom, okay? Also, I don't like the sky, so that's why I selected this third photo that I have on my old archived photos. Just to be a little bit more clear, this is the end result. So the before and after. How cool is that? Another thing very important is that I floated everything on Photoshop because all these icons are intellectual property of Adobe, so of course I can't show you that. And yeah, let's do this. So I'm gonna select all our 3 photos selected and I'm gonna open in Camera Raw. As you can see, I already play with the settings here and pay special attention if the red is exactly the same in both pictures. That is very important. A fast way of doing this is I'm gonna zoom in on the dress like so, and as you can see, while I am sliding the mouse over the reds, you can see the RGB on the top here, and you can actually have a rough idea of the colors there and try to get as close as possible on the other photo. So these are 2 different lenses. Maybe the colors will shift a little bit. Well, in this case it didn't. So what I actually did, I just select all 2 photos and synchronize settings like so, and boom. So like this I have everything synchronized as the same. So let's select our 3 photos here and let's open image. Not open image. A really cool trick that you can do in Camera Raw is press Shift and now you have open objects. What this do is, instead of opening a compressed image on Photoshop, it converts them to a smart object. And if I go here in the layers and double click on the layer, I can re-edit the raw file. This is really cool. So now what we're gonna do is actually put all the photos in the same project, like so, and there we go. And I can close all the other ones. Let's start with the dress. So I'm gonna open, this will go to the bottom here, make a mask here. So I'm gonna be a little bit faster and rough on the masks for time saving, but you should pay a really special attention while you are doing masks, because details in the beginning makes a better image in the end. There is a lot of ways of doing masks, like just select like so and try to make a selection of this like so. That's actually pretty damn good. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. As you can see, it did pick up the shadow. I don't want the shadow. So I'm gonna press Alt. As you can see, the mouse icon transforming to a minus instead of a plus. Okay, so let's just unselect this shadow here, like so. Now I'm gonna make a mask. Boom, here we have the dress here. In masks, you also can click on the mask and go to the properties, and as you can see, you can select and mask, and it goes to this mode that you can refine a little bit your mask. So as you can see, there is some rough edges over here. So this is red on red, it's a little bit confusing, so let's just work with something like this. It's a little bit easier to understand what we are doing here. And there we go. So another thing that I'm gonna do is press on 100% pixels, here we have it, is actually remove a little bit the shift of the edge, like so, and add a little bit of feather, so it has a smooth line on our mask, like so. Well, it's not the most perfect mask, but for this tutorial we'll have to do, and let's press OK. I can move this layer around, but I am very limited what I can do with this smart object. So what we're gonna do is duplicate layer, let's call this a copy. I'm gonna make this one invisible and push it on back down as a backup if I need to, and let's right click on this on the duplicated layer and rasterize layer, and there we go. Let's try to transform this to its right place. So let's press V, and as you can see, I wanted to put it down here, and I'm gonna make Control T, and I can try to work my way around on this photo, like so. It's roughly on place. Now I'm gonna right click and select Warp, and we can start make our pushes, our manipulation, like so. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting there, and it's very limited what I can do with this warp distortion, but we are not far away. So let's press enter to approve this modification, and let's keep going. Now what I actually gonna do is use a puppet tool on Photoshop. This is really cool stuff, but it doesn't really work that well with masks. So what I'm gonna do is actually apply the layer mask, and as you can see, this layer now, it's a solid layer, like so. Let's use the puppet mesh tool. Beforehand, I'm gonna zoom in where we are going to work. I'm gonna close the properties panel over here. Here we have it. Make sure that you have the right layer selected, and let's go to edit and select puppet warp, and it makes this warp that you can push around. So what I actually am gonna do is the expansion, I'm gonna push it to 5 pixels. So I have a little bit of more margin here to push these pixels out, and let's try to do this. So oops, I accidentally make a pin. So I want to hold the skirt in here. I don't want these parts to move, and let's try to push this like so. And I will back up from here. Nice. And to approve this, just press enter. And here we have our transformations. Of course, sometimes it gets a little bit rough on the edges. Try to smooth out or try to get some details on this. You can do a really cool thing. It's go to filter and liquefy. And here on liquefy, I'm gonna zoom in on here. And for example, I want this wrinkle to be a little bit more to the top. So I'm gonna push it, and I can try to push as I would want it, like around 90 and stuff. Okay, I won't pay too much details. I just showing you the tools you can manage yourself. For the moment, I'm gonna leave it like so. Let's press OK. Now, I'm gonna make a mask on this dress. There we go. And now I want to merge these two skirts together. This is the big challenge now. Let me just zoom in and press on B to have the brush here. And as you can see, I have white and black. So white on this mask will let through the image, and black, if I press X, it changes between, as you can see, between the two colors to mix all the two images together like so. And as you can see, there is a small problem here. I need to push this dress a little bit in. So I actually gonna recover with white this detail over here, and again let's use the puppet warp tool again, and I'm gonna add some points here and here and try to make this transition a little bit smoother. Okay, enter. And let's try to mask this thing out. And also a very cool thing is that you can use the numeric keyboard to change the opacity. So I want to blend this a little bit better. So what I'm gonna do is press on the keyboard in 2. As you can see, my opacity now it's 20%. I can add some dark areas from the skirt behind here, like so, just to get a little bit better. And here we go. Here we have it. Nice. How really simple is this? What I like to do now to show you guys is how to delete the bikini top here. It's really easy. What I actually do is make Ctrl-Shift-N to create a new layer, and let's call this clone. I'm gonna use the stamp tool. I just press S to have the tool here. Let's zoom in a little bit here, and let's try to erase this. So very important is that the sample is current and below. That means that it will take in value everything that is below this layer. So I'm gonna make a sample from here, and actually I'm gonna the size of this a little bit smaller and a little bit hard like so, and start painting. So I'm gonna take a sample from here and put it in here. There we go. I went a little bit too far here on the arm, so again I'm gonna create a mask and try to recover. As you can see, I am at 20%. Let's put 100%, and what I'm gonna do is recover the edge of her arm like so. So it's a way too rough, but it's just, I am doing this just as an example. Now what we want to do, it's put the sky on the top there. Let's go up in here, and as you can see here we have the sky. I'm gonna try to fill as much as possible, and I'm gonna put it invisible, and let's select the sky here. Impressively, this magic wand tool usually doesn't work that well, but on this flat sky it works just perfectly. So here I did test this out in tolerance of 40. I did select the sky. I'm gonna zoom in and select this area also here. So I'm gonna press Shift. So as you can see, the icon changes with the plus, so I can add another layer of colors. So as you can see, it's also selecting inside of here. As you can see, continuous, it's not selected. And let's make a mask out of this. So let's go here on the top, select this bad boy and make a mask. Boom. How easy and simple is that? Of course, the edges are a little bit rough. I advise you to double click on the mask and smooth out a little bit all these lines, add a little bit of feather, because in the real world nothing is sharp perfect. So let's approve this as it is, and there we go. How nice is that? Now we can see another problem is that the light is coming from here like so, and the clouds, as you can see, the clouds are like this. So we need to flip this. So I'm gonna select my layer here, Ctrl T, and right click and flip horizontal. Boom. And now you can see that we have a small problem, is that it also flips the mask. So let's undo this, Ctrl Z. I'm gonna click on the link here. Now the image and the mask are separated to modifications. So let's Ctrl T and do this again, flip horizontal, and here we have it. And press enter. Now what you can do is start working on a bit of details like shadows and stuff like that. For example, you can see that there is the small problem here of the shadow of Susanna's hand, that it shouldn't be there. So I'm gonna go to the clone layer. I'm gonna do this. Actually, try to press this. I'm being a little bit unprofessional here. This is rough, but you can. Okay, let's out. And now let's create our look. I want to make this like an old film photo. So what I'm gonna do is select the top layer and do Ctrl Shift Alt E. As you can see, it made a compression of all the layers down below here. And what I'm gonna do is go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And let's go something wild like 12, 15, like so. And convert this layer to soft light. There we go. It gives it a little bit of a magical flow, but I did lose a lot of details, especially on Susanna hair. So I'm gonna reduce a little bit the opacity like so, until I feel it's good. I want to add some sharpness, at the same time some noise. Again, what I'm gonna do is Ctrl Shift Alt E. There we go. And what I'm gonna do, stick with me until the end, but go to Filter, Other, High Pass, and try to select a value that you can see a lot of details. So around 0.8 it's good enough for this picture. Yours may vary, okay? And now I want to remove all the colors of this image. So let's go to Image, Adjustments, Hue Saturation, and push the saturation all the way down. Okay, so this image has no color information. And if I zoom in to 100%, you can see, if I change this layer to soft light, you can see that it has a little bit of sharpness. This is really great to use if you want to print this image. Now, another thing that I want to do is add some noise. Like so. Now this looks like film. Nice. Okay, there we go. So now to finish, what you can do is add more adjustment layers to just get exactly the feel that you want on this picture. So I want a little bit brighter. So I want to add a vignetting on this. So I'm gonna make a new layer, Control Shift N, and let's call this vignetting. I want this to be soft light and fill with 50% of gray, and okay. And now what I'm gonna do is fill this layer with a degree like so. So I want this to be radial gradient, and let's push it like so. As you can see, it's getting brighter on the center and go darker to the corners. Actually, I don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is here on this color at the beginning, I want it to be 50% gray. Okay, and in the end, I want it to be pure black. Okay. Okay, and let's try this again. That's more like it. Again, if you feel that is way too harsh, you can go to the opacity and push this down. Back on curves, I want to do another thing. I want to go to the reds and push it down like so. Add a little bit of contrast on the blues. Actually, on the shadows I want to add blues, and calm down on the top here. Another thing that I do often is add some atmosphere. So for that I'm gonna do another layer, and let's call this fog. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is go to filter, render, clouds, and here we have this strange clouds. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is convert this to a smart object, so I won't lose that much of details, and I want to Control T so I can change the scale, make sure that it's linked, and let's press Control and drag this like so. So I want this to be extremely big like so, and press Enter. I want to change this to soft light, maybe hard light. Hard light, it's better. Okay, and now I'm gonna make a mask. So I want the mask to be directly all blacked out, so I'm gonna press Alt and press on the mask icon, and let's use the brush even bigger. And the back there, I want to add a little bit of atmosphere here. So let's do that. I'm gonna jump to white by pressing X. And let's try to paint a little bit of atmosphere around Susanna like so. So I want this fog to be on the bottom here. So it has the influence of all the colors that we already worked on. So let's play a little bit like so, especially on the top. And let's change the opacity to 20% by pressing on the number keypad. Pressing the number 2, it goes to 20% of opacity, like so. Now this will be a work of personal taste, so I'm gonna stop here this tutorial, and now you have a really rough idea how you can do this really cool and great image with a normal dress.
Everyone, thank you very much to keep along with us during this video tutorial. So You may say that this is a joke, and yeah, in 2019 it's kind of a joke that will be a reality in 2 years, because the Article 13 was approved, and now during these 2 years the countries of the European Union will adapt the Article 13 in their own country's laws. So it looks like a joke, but this probably will be a reality. Freedom of speech on the internet, it's a really big deal for everyone internationally. Now that we have freedom of speech on Europe, we have a really open democracy internet, we will lose that. That is a big deal. I don't know what you think, but yeah, if you want to see this video without the censorship that this video has, the link is up there or up there, okay? And there we go. So thank you very much, Ruben, for helping us. Thank you very much, Susanna. Their Instagram's profiles is down below in the description. And to finish, drop a like if you learned something, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I am Miguel, Ruben, Susanna. Until next time, see ya. So today I am here with Ruben and Susanna to make a tutorial about. Today we are making a tutorial inspired. Come back to my channel. So tutorial is a tutorial